Let's go to business news now with Giles Beckford, who is in our Wellington studio. Giles, boutique, I should say, dairy company has been sold off to who?
Yes, good evening to you, Lisa. It's the Lewis Road Creamery, which will be well known to people. Of course, they were the inventors of chocolate milk, although I think possibly somebody may have had the idea. But
Posh milk and posh butter, isn't it, Giles?
They were the smartest ones. They were there. They gave it a label. They marketed it. They got it into all the right Auckland delicatessens and posh food stores, as you say. So they've done very well. Actually, by all accounts, they're excellent products, and they've been building themselves a reasonable export market slowly but surely as well. But the news is that the founder, Peter Cullinane, has finally sold out. He sold to the other 50-50 partner in there, which was a company called Southern Pastures. Now, this is basically a corporate farmer. They are an investment fund. They've invested in dairy farms around the country, which have been supplying Lewis Road Creamery. So from that point of view, it's a neat little circle. But one thing about the Southern Pastures is that although they have some notable New Zealanders on the board, they're actually controlled by Swedish investment interests. And once again, we have to say another smart Kiwi company who's been doing hard yakka but pouring the funds, which will now almost 100% go into foreign pockets. So, we might ask ourselves, why can't we actually put up the money and own these companies fully? But, one hopes that there's no change in the quality. They're still pushing tentatively into the US market, which one might question in the current time whether this is the right strategy. But you need to go where you think the demand is, and if the demand is going to recover in the United States, then it may be a smart move. Seeing the success that A2 Milk has had in entering the US market with their special products, then let's hope this all win to Lewis Road Creamery's efforts.
Okay, what's the deal with this battle over the Ziplock brand? Now, Ziplock, are they the sort of clicky-clacky containers or the resealable plastic bags?
Yes. I give you exhibit number one. This is not the actual exhibit. It's not the exhibit, but...
What's your cheese sandwich in that, Giles?
You can see I've used it often because I believe in sustainability. That bit there, the little sealing bit there, that's a Ziplock.
Right. So for those of us who are listening, Giles has just exhibited a little plastic bag with, the plastic runners that slot into each other and you run your fingers down them and it seals up. It's probably got some leftover lunch in there, but what's going on with the company, Giles?
It's perfectly healthy. The law case was between a couple of big companies, one from the States, SC Johnson, which will be well known for its consumer products and brands, and an Australian-based company called International Consolidated Business. And I thought it was one of those names that you'd find in a James Bond novel as a front company, but the argument is about the word Ziplock, not about the mechanism, but just the word Ziplock, and who had the legal right to use it. Well, they've been going backwards and forwards with the Intellectual Property Office, which is a little government agency which decides these sorts of things. They've been through the High Court, they've been through the Court of Appeal. It seemed to, in the end, come down to who got dibs on the name Ziplock first and who registered it first. The Supreme Court has gone all the way to the top. The Supreme Court has come out in favour of SC Johnson, so the Australians will have to find another word to describe their mechanism. But just to add a little bit of salt to the wounds, the Australian company IBC have had to pay $10,000 costs for SC Johnson, who I assume probably were pretty well lawyered up in this. But once again, sometimes interesting business stories just happen out of sight and then they just pop up. Who would have thought that it would have gone all the way to the Supreme Court?
As you say, who would have thought? What have we got on market numbers today?
Well, I have to say that we went down the snake on the share market today after 11 days of rises, 5 consecutive record closes. Today we've gone down 57 points. That's just under 0.5%, 12,487. On the currency market, Kiwi buying 66.5 US. And if you're contemplating going on one of those first flights to Australia into New South Wales, then you can buy Aussie for around 93.2.
Thanks, Giles. Giles Beckford with the business news there in a special appearance from his lunch sack there.